So what's going on, guys? It's Captain America. Hope you guys are well, and thank you so much for coming onto this channel. So as always, starting off with the match stats. For this game we did win 2-0. We had 59% possessions. We did have 8 shots in total compared to the opposition that had 9 shots in total. For myself, I had an 8.0 match rating. I was again playing as a central defensive midfielder, a CDM. Similar to the yesterday's video as well, I was a CDM. But again, it's just due to the trial list that we're having within the club. We do want to get prepared for the FIFA 23 Pro League in Germany side of things. So we are just going to be trialing out like fixed positions going forward. So I'll be a centre back, but maybe let's see what happens. If there's not many players, I'll be rotating as a CDM. But for this game, as mentioned, I had a 21 passes, 81% accuracy. I had 17 times I dribbled at 94% accuracy. I made 2 tackles at 50%, and then I won the ball 5 times compared to I lost it twice. But again, a very strong performance from my side as well as the team. Glad with that we kept a clean sheet. It was a tough game, especially with some points during like the latter end of the match. We were just getting hammered on the doors. They were attacking quite hard, but again, we weren't really defending deep as well in most of the times. A lot of the defenders were going up, so we just need to learn from that side of things, not pushing too high all the time, especially when we are leading at 2-0. We do want to, of course, keep the clean sheet, or if they do, let's say if we do concede, they may counter and score another goal to draw. So, or of course, we do want to avoid that as much as we can. But generally a great performance from the boys. We did have a lot of chances where we could have converted. Good positioning within the the pitch side of things. Our passing was very slick, very smooth. So GGs to the boys, especially as we control the game as much as we can. Majority of the times when they done these 8 shots, it was towards the latter end of the match, when we were, let's say, not concentrating as much as we should. But, a strong performance from the boys. And just to give you a quick lineup of who was playing for this game itself, we did have a full 11. We had Adams in goal, great goalkeeper. He's been saving our arse so many times, man. GGs to Adams. Then we had at the right back position Begovic. Timper as a centre-back with Sergio. So Timper was a trialist, so we're just seeing how he's going to be playing, and maybe, yeah, he'll be within the squad. Let's just see how he is within the next games to come. Then we had Thiago as a left-back, and then myself as a CDM, Khalil the GOAT, as well as Graham the GOAT as central midfielders. We had Kana as the cam, and then we had King and Genga playing as a centre-forward. So, strong lineup from our side, and we did perform quite well during the night when we were playing these games. Me rotating as a CDM to a centre-back as well towards the latter end of the night. But no, do enjoy the match, while we talk about today's agenda. And, the topic I've been mentioning is going to be the highlight of the summer. I've been mentioning in my previous videos, is going to be the discussion around Ronaldo. Either he's going to be staying or if he's going to be leaving Manchester United. Just yesterday it was a case where he was going to, was it Carrington, where they have the training ground or something like that in Manchester United. So he went there over with his, agent Mendes, or whatever the case is his name. And, they're having discussions with Ten Hag. I think Sir Alex Ferguson was there as well, because he just wants to pitch in and just give his support as well. And an understanding of why, Ronaldo wants to leave. And, he's been mentioning it throughout this summer, where he wants to compete still in the highest level. He is 37 years old, man. Like, the age that he's in, of course, he doesn't have that long left within the football scene, especially at the high level, scene that he's playing in. But, we've got players such as Ibrahimovic, he's around 41 years old. Physique is just on point, and he's still banging in goals. Nowadays he's prone to injuries, but again, he's still, whenever he does play, a phenomenal player. Now, Ronaldo is the same case, 37 years old. It's just unfortunate the first season he had to play, returning back to United, he's got his captain, which is Maguire. Being as clumsy as Maguire is, I know that he accidentally headbutted Ronaldo in some of the games. He, kicked him or something like that. Just accidental ones. But again, just shows how clumsy this guy is, Maguire. So, one season with him is enough. I just don't understand how De Gea has been at United for so long. And, with Maguire, in his defensive lineup, since Sir Alex Ferguson left, they haven't really had a good back line, Man United. And even like the scoring side of things, they haven't had, a great scoring seasons. I think I was reading on one of the news channels, since Sir Alex Ferguson left, there has been no Manchester United player that has scored more than 20 plus goals. and that was over 9 seasons ago that Sir Alex Ferguson left. So, you know, that just shows what Sir Alex Ferguson was doing with the teams that he had. You know, we did see it. You know, the teams that he was playing against, some of these oppositions were hilarious. I think there was a game where he had like 9 defenders on the pitch. And like, it's just like these obscene things. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a Football Manager team where you don't have a great team, but motivationally Sir Alex Ferguson was great, as well as tactically as well, and he got the results at the end of the day. So he was a great manager overall, and highly respect for what he's done in the game itself. Same with like Wenger, for example. But you know, with Ronaldo, talking about him, you know, the season that he had just gone, he had 30 games in the Premier League. Okay, he scored 18 goals and he had 3 assists. And then in the Champions League, they had 7 games and 6 goals. You know, these goals to games ratio is absolutely lethal, man. Like, that's the thing. If Ronaldo were to lose him, yes, they've done the preseason, they've done some great jobs with the likes of Martial, Sancho, and Rashford playing. But again, I just don't see that lineup doing well consistently going forward. Again, you know, when we're back into the actual tournaments and the competition itself, of course, pre-season, a lot of teams that they're playing against are trying and testing their youth, rotational, you know, fitness, you know, it's all around that. But I've mentioned in my previous video, you know, United were going for what they assumed was going to be the first team lineup, with of course some rotational move as well, because Ten Hag wants to understand who's going to be fitting in well with other, let's say, opposition. So it's going to be really interesting what happens with Manchester United. I honestly don't see them, you know, getting Champions League football again. I've mentioned it's going to be, you know, in the Champions League positions. Liverpool, Man City, you got Arsenal as well as Tottenham. That's who I feel will be, you know, the teams within this side that are going to be in the Champions League spots. Even Europa, I think it's going to be a tough competition. I do see potentially them getting Europa League again. But you know, Ronaldo doesn't want that. He's highlighted it specifically. Again, his age is 37 years old, that he wants to leave in order to get major trophies. So, you know, you got the likes of Atletico Madrid, you've got Bayern that were rumoured for him, and, you know, they've pulled out. Literally, they've pulled out because Atletico Madrid supporters were in the pre-season game, and they had banners saying, look, no to Ronaldo. You know, he wasn't a rival, let's say, when he was in the Real Madrid days against Atletico Madrid. You know, the baptism that he's done, not just with Real Madrid, but for Juve against Atletico Madrid too. So there's a lot of bad blood, you know, around that. But if they were to get him, I don't think it's going to be a bad move. I honestly feel it will be a great move to have him at Atletico Madrid, because I've mentioned again in my past videos where Atletico Madrid have such unique strikers whenever they've, you know, played them as centre forwards. You know, we're talking about Forlan, Falcao, we're talking about Torres, we're talking about Diego Costa, we're talking about all of these names, and Suarez, or whoever the case is. Like, all of these names have just done a great job whenever they were centre forwards for Atletico Madrid. So, you know, a move for him wouldn't be a bad one, but it's not likely, you know, he's moving over to Atletico Madrid or Bayern. I feel that he's going to be moving over to Sporting, man. Like, I think he's going to be going for like a very low price, and then I don't know how it's going to be with the salary. I think he needs to give way and be a bit more flexible with the salary, the demands that he's trying to, you know, have over the contract side of things. For maybe at best a year or two is a bit obscene, but again, that's his quality. He's a legit goal scorer, and you know, it's just unfortunate that he's in this current situation. But you know, my question is to those that are out there for like United fans, or just generally all of you guys, you know, what are your thoughts on Ronaldo and his current situation? Because, you know, he left United with like loads of years behind him. I think he was at United for 6 years. Phenomenal in his youth days for United. Moved over to Real Madrid, then over to Juve, and back at United. You know, his first season back, as mentioned the stats, you know, he performed very well, and he was the top scorer at his age as a centre forward for the club. You know, now he's looking at leaving. He's doing a very similar situation to like Coutinho at Liverpool, where, you know, he for me, Coutinho is still a legend, man. Like, he was a fantastic central attacking midfielder, as well as like an in-forward, you know, left-sided player, but then cutting into the right and just shooting from far. You know, with Ronaldo, again, a legend in the game and a legend for United, but his current situation, you know, him wanting to leave, him taking time out, you know, all of this situation, not being involved within like the pre-season side of things. He wants out, but Ten Hag wants to keep him. Same with United, they don't want to see him leave. So I want your, you know, opinions on what you think the situation is going to be with Ronaldo, if you think he's going to be going or leaving, and what kind of mark he's going to be leaving for the fans. You know, is it going to be a case where, you know, we're going to see fans burning up the Ronaldo shirt, or is it going to be a case where, you know, United fans are going to be like, look, he's at that age, let's say, where he wants to still win major trophies, and United aren't giving that. It's going to be a couple of seasons now for United where they're going to be going through like this rejuvenating phase, hopefully, but I don't hope that they, you know, rejuvenate. I hope that they just keep suffering and they get relegated down to, I don't know, the National League. But no, but as a Liverpool fan, that's what we expect. But, you know, I think it's going to be interesting for United over these next couple of years. If they're going to be sticking with Ten Hag, they've always had this quick rotational sacking going on with the United, you know, managers. I think it's just bad to have. And we've seen that with Chelsea now. You know, no one wants to move to Chelsea. Barca, a broke club as they are, you know, they owe a lot of money. It's still for the Dembele transfer. Are poaching these players that Chelsea are interested in is just absolute banter, man. Like, that is just pure bants. Like, these guys were in a transfer ban, you need to understand, okay? Chelsea were in a transfer ban where they couldn't buy players. Now that they've got money from these new owners, yes, they've made some acquisitions. Koulibaly, who's an old age centre-back who's been dropped in his arse, even on his prime, for Napoli against Liverpool by Salah. You know, they've bought him. Okay, maybe he will do well. I don't think he will, but maybe he's going to do okay, especially as Chelsea's always done very well defensively, but not as well in the attacking phase. You know, Koundé's now looked elsewhere. They got Sterling. Man is a pure diver. You know, he's 28 years old. He wasn't even like a first-team player for Manchester City for the past season. Yes, he was great in his previous seasons, but again, he's now aged. He's not that prime, let's say, Sterling that he was. Man just gets pushed over, and, you know, we see that if he does move over to Chelsea, let's see what happens with the goal-scoring side of things for the likes of Werner, for the likes of Havertz. So I think it's going to be interesting, but I don't see Chelsea doing well. I have mentioned that they're going to be around 5th, 6th next season in the Premier League. Again, they're just getting dealt with in the transfer side of things, but I don't know, man. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with Ronaldo. You know, I said Sporting, but you never know. Maybe Mr. Mbappe, President of PSG, goes ahead and makes it like a Galactico type of, I don't know, wonder class, I don't know, world class team as such for PSG. Having Mbappe as a centre forward, you got Messi on the right, you got Ronaldo on the left, man. Like, that forward type of lineup would be insane, especially as we've always wanted to see Ronaldo and Messi play together. You know, that would be absolutely phenomenal if he does move over to PSG, even if it's for a season. So please, Mr. President, go ahead and just buy him, man. You guys have the wage cap and all that crap. But again, you guys have a new manager that wants to go for a different philosophy instead of maybe like world-class players. And, you know, they've bought this new player, 21 years old, I think, from Salzburg or Leipzig, one of the teams. You know, that will be a really good purchase for him. And again, a French player, so for the international scene. You know, talking about like other players, you know, you got, how do you say it, like Antony from Ajax, who's, you know, played under Ten Hag for a very long time. He's done quite well as well, Antony, in the Champions League, as well as like the, you know, the Dutch league as well. But, you know, they've put a price tag of 85 mil. Ajax have mentioned they don't want to sell him, so they're trying to, you know, like scare United away. But United being dumb, most probably they'll have their pants pulled down and offer 90 mil and get that accepted. But who knows? I think that'll be an interesting, you know, seeing if he does move across or not. But we are coming to the end of the video. As always, guys, thank you so much for your time and your support and for watching this until the end. You know, we do have some variety within our, let's say, videos, and do hope you enjoy the games as well. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Take care and bye-bye.
Great effort to keep that one.
Nice one, boys.